I believe so. Current time now is 12:27 a.m. Today's date is January 30th, 2026. I do have my timer going in the background, but 12:27. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. All right, so let's see. Where did we leave off? So I know again, shout out to Tasho, Heart of Gold. Heart of Gold. Gold. Now there is this time where when I met with Chantrice, I had to submit all my documents, all of my paperwork, and begin the process of submitting the application for housing assistance. And so once I scheduled the appointment, met up with her, got everything, all of the documents that she had asked for, she kind of just gave me a list of things that I would need. And so I made sure that I got all of those documents. I made sure that I had everything so that way there was no issue there specifically. And so then there was kind of this waiting period because that is the philosophy of life. Patience. You have to have it. You have to have it. There is no way around it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just have to have patience. Especially when it comes to something like, documents, paperwork, and submitting an application and things of that such. It doesn't happen in lightning speed. And so I obviously had to learn that. But the tricky part was when I had self-admitted myself back to the mental health facility, I remember Chantrice was like, there's going to be a phone call and I can't remember if she said it was going to be from her or it was going to be from somebody from the housing department. But it was like, don't miss the phone call. One of those type things, right? And so that was why I was so irritated when it was time for me to leave and they was getting ready to release me, and they have this sort of protocol as far as checking your blood before you leave, just to make sure that you've kind of been compliant with taking your medication and stuff like that, right? And so it had like totally enraged me when she come wake me up 5:30 in the morning after I done just fell asleep from the nurse who was sitting in the hallway with her phone playing super loud, and we can't keep our doors closed. It was like so irritating. And then my caseworker come and she's like, why you didn't get your blood drawn this morning? Totally was about to spaz out about that because then I had to stay for extra like 2 days, I believe, or something like that. It was like something crazy. And so I remember when I had got out and I was checking my voicemails, and somebody had left my voicemail, but I can't remember who that was. And so it was kind of like, you see what I mean? Like, now the wheels are going, because it's like the phone call. That's all I kept thinking about was, okay, the phone call, the phone call, the phone call. It wasn't like it was kind of like a phone interview, sort of, kind of. But it was also more so of, okay, you need to be ready when it's time to make that in-person appointment as well, because I also had to have an in-person appointment, which I had met Chantrice down at the office, and we just kind of had like this in-person interview with a specialist, and then it was, okay, well, we'll get back with you. Because, it's always, okay, well, we'll get back with you. We'll get back with you. We'll be in touch. We'll keep in touch and things of that such. And so shout out to Chantrice for having such effective communication with me during that time, because shout out to me for keeping my phone turned on during that time as well. Because when I tell you, it was nothing but the grace of God, to be quite honest. I will admit that it's always the grace of God, and I have to pause and even take a moment of reflection now, because this makes episode 8, season 2. And I will say that because sometimes I'll forget, and I'll have to go through the interview. I'll have to go through the video, and I'll have to listen to myself like, okay, what number this is? I'm like, say it. Okay. Season 2, episode 8. But even just starting this series, editing this series, oh. And so if you've made it this far, and back in season 1 where the video would pause, we learned that if we touch the status bar, it'll pause the video. And if I don't unpause it, or if I don't remove the status bar from the screen or from view, yes, it'll just, anyway. And I just had to keep telling myself, it's okay. Just keep going, trials and tribulation, because then there is an editing that comes after these videos. This is just a recording. There's an editing version that has to happen as well. And only the grace of God to just keep me going, keep me focused. And so I actually just got off live. I was live streaming for a little bit. I tried to convince myself, okay, because I have to like maneuver. I have to juggle. I have to live stream. I have to have long form video content. I have to have video shorts. It's so much with this YouTube. She is just so demanding. She really is. I mean, if you want to make it, she ain't for everybody, to be quite honest. But if you want to make it, I understand. And so, here we are. And I was just trying to make sure that I was always available whenever Chantrice called me. So, there's this waiting period to get the application processed. But on the back end, C-19 has just hit, okay? I think the first time I saw it, and this is one of those moments where you always have to appreciate the health concern that you have, because you never know what someone else is going through. And so back in maybe the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020, I was formally diagnosed with epilepsy. That's a seizure disorder. I was in fact able to catch myself on video having a seizure. And when I tell you, I was driving. I had drove to Augusta to see the girls. And it was one of them turnarounds. I had drove there and I had flew back. I probably stayed 30 minutes, no more than an hour. I'm talking about gotta get on the road, it's getting late. And so my body has this thing, it has this ability to forewarn me when I am very close to about to have a seizure. My body will begin to twitch. I mean, violently twitch. I may drop something. I may drop me. Twitch. I mean, it's so violent. How people will shiver when they're cold. It's one of those I'm stuck on the top of Mount Everest violent shivers. But it's a twitch, real jerk. It's a real jerk, a real twitch. And so I was having this twitch. I pulled over and I laid down and I just let the seat back. When I got back to Atlanta, I had let the seat back and I had just laid down. And I just laid there. I was like, I'm so tired. Let me just lay down and relax. And I kept twitching. And so I put my GoPro in the window. And I just hit the record. And I forgot that it will do that. I had just bought a brand new memory card. I think it was like 250 gigs or something like that. Good space. I might be over exaggerating. It was somewhere up there. It was the biggest memory card that I had invested in at that time. And so it'll beep, 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 beep every 30 minutes. Beep, 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 beep every 30 minutes. It'll stop and then it'll start over. Beep, 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 beep. Stopping it. And so I'm asleep, but I keep hearing this beeping. And I keep hearing it and I keep hearing it. Very faint, because I'm dozing off. And so I get up like it's nothing. Like this. And you got to remember, this was back in 2019 when I made this video, because I was still at my mom's. I still had the rental car from Lyft. And so this was back in 2019. Now fast forward to, like I said, the end of 2019, Well, this was the middle of 2019, but fast forward to the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020, and I was formally diagnosed with epilepsy, right? So watch this. I have like two different angles I'm gonna take you here. So I'm going through my footage, my memory cards, because of course I'm running out of space and I have no idea what an external drive is at this point. And so I'm trying to transfer footage. And I keep seeing this video on my memory card and it just keeps like I'm napping. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? And so I started deleting it because I'm like, why do I have like 7 videos of me just sleeping? And I was about to get ready to delete one of the videos. And I just, oh my goodness. I saw this scene of myself that was so terrifying. It was so terrifying. And so what ended up happening was I had a seizure at the homeless shelter. Because remember what I told you, we have to be up at 6 and we have to be gone by 7. Now, that doesn't seem too bad, but when you're sleeping around other people who may snore, that may be difficult for you to sleep. And then, of course, when you have to get up, use the bathroom, and then it takes you like 2 hours just to go back to sleep. So I ended up having a seizure. And I woke up and I was in such a daze because I'm like, it's light outside. I'm like, what time is it? I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe we was able to sleep in a little longer or something. I don't know. Maybe it could have been a special occasion or something. I don't know. And I ended up taking myself to the hospital and having it on record that I had a seizure because I had bit my tongue. So I knew that I had a seizure. That's always like a telltale sign for me. Like when my tongue is swollen and it's bitten. And I just remember it was a lot of people in there. Mask on and stuff like that. It was a lot going on. And I'm like, what is going on? That was like my first, revelation of something is going on. Because I was in the hospital at that time and it was like mask and stuff. And I had just grabbed a whole box of masks. I'm like, I might need this. And so I get back to the shelter and I'll never forget. It was a fellow resident. I don't know how we ended up on the topic. I have no idea how we ended up on the topic. I don't know if I had ran across the footage and I had brought it to her attention or something. Some way we ended up on the topic and she was like, you had a seizure this morning. And you had to see the look on my face. Nobody told me. Nobody told me that I had a seizure. Blew my mind. Blew my mind away. I'm like, nobody even told me? Didn't even tell me. And so I do have that footage. Shall I just say trigger warning? I That's the best that I can do. If I find it by the time it's time to release this episode, or it's somewhere. I do have the footage somewhere. I will just have to like go dumpster diving for it, because I don't know if it's on the external drive. I don't know if it's still on like a micro SD card. It's somewhere, that is for certain. But if I do muster up the courage to show the world, and it makes, the only thing I could think about was, oh my goodness, I could only imagine what people who have actually seen me have a seizure, I can only imagine. I can only imagine, because people just have no idea. People, how dangerous it is to wake somebody up out of their sleep. You see like the pranks of like people dashing water on people, and you know what I mean? Like people with these loud pranks and these like scare prank, especially when somebody's asleep. People just have no idea how dangerous that is. I literally had to have like a heart-to-heart moment with my kids. Like, hey, listen, let that go. Because they will wait until I'm asleep. Come in the room. Ma, Christian do that. Ma. I'm like, whatever it is, just wait till I wake up. Please. Whatever you do, please don't wake me up out of my sleep. Please don't wake me up. Because then when a person have a seizure, now what? Got to go through the seizure protocol. What should we do? What should we do? And so I was formally diagnosed with epilepsy. I did have to stay at the hospital and, have the EEG all in my hair. Lord, oh my goodness. And you have to kind of go through this whole protocol, this whole procedure as far as, you can't go to sleep. And if you do, just go to sleep for like an hour and wake yourself up and things of that such. So I did have to do that. I am formally diagnosed with epilepsy. It's generalized epilepsy, but it is still epilepsy. And thankfully, that did qualify me to have those student loans forgiven. So thank you. Who is that? Mr. Biden, President Biden. I so appreciate it. And so we'll end there, because like I said, I just want to, and I had no idea I was going to go down that epilepsy rabbit hole. I'm telling you, I have no script. I promise you I don't. And I had no idea I was going to go down that epilepsy rabbit hole. But remember, I say all that to say is because that's me playing with my AirPods. Don't worry about other people's ailments, okay? Health conditions. Listen, mind yours. I promise you. Because when I tell you, just go and ask anybody who has seen me have a seizure. Because when I tell you, when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on now? Oh, it just shocked me to my core. Oh, I'm talking about when I tell you, that's a real trigger warning. Oh, I get chills thinking about it. That's a real trigger warning, I'm telling you. Because when I tell you, ooh, that's the best I can do, is just say trigger warning. That's the best I can do. And I probably have to put a trigger warning at the beginning of the video because I already know. Ooh, I mean, it was just, I had never seen nothing like that before in all my life. But then I was so proud of myself because I caught it on video. What? 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 So proud of myself. Anyway, so let's just say for episode 9, as we prepare for episode 9, we will continue to follow the journey. Like I said, we've had an appointment, and so now we're just waiting to hear back from them. C19 has just started, and so that's really going to be the crown jewel, so to speak. She's going to make her debut, and she is, oh, listen, she had the bus rides free. So you could ride any MARTA for free. Any MARTA that you want. I mean, you did have to pay for that train, but that's nothing compared to that bus. And so we had to pack everything up, and we had to roommate at a hotel with a fellow resident. And so I will, like I said, just continue down this path. We started driving for Lyft again, Uber again, and we was just waiting. You see what I mean? Like, we was just waiting to hear back. Oh, okay. You're right. I have to cue you in on. Oh my goodness. I gotta cue you in. Okay, so like we'll go back to the right, the hotel. We'll start at the hotel, and then we'll go to the extended stay, and then the second extended stay. Okay, all right, I got it. See, I got it right here. As long as it's in my memory bank, it's good, because all I have to do is just follow the timeline. But in the meantime, in between time, okay, love you, bye.
Suddenly need advice from a